I'm going to go more into what meditation is. So, in the beginning, we're taught meditation is to sit down and quiet your mind and all that jazz. And that's fine. But a true seeker of truth will go deeper than that. There's more. So it's important to get the word meditation out of your head. In Zen, they just say, sit. Just sit. And literally, it's as simple as that. You just sit. And what we realize when we just sit is most of the time we can't actually just sit. We're thinking, we're plotting, we're planning, we're worrying, we're distracted. We don't get to experience sitting. And when we finally experience sitting, we realize, wow, it's really good to sit. Why don't I do this more? You're doing it all the time. You just don't realize it. It's okay. This is the mortal dream that we're all born into. This is the illusion, the Leela. And it's about waking up. So I'm here to help. It's like the Matrix, like Trinity comes for Neo when the time is right? It takes him to Morpheus, and then Morpheus leads them to Zion, and it's like, oh my God, there's other people just like me, And then there's the attack of like artificial intelligence. Anyway, that's beside the point. So meditation. Right. So, if you're, so you sit, right? And you might start with breathing exercises of like being very mindful of when you're breathing in, very mindful when you're breathing out. That's just concentration. You're not there yet at meditation. This is just training your awareness, right? It's like playing the scales on a guitar. I don't know why I did a piano when I was trying to do... Anyway, that's where my mind's at. Talk about not being mindful, huh? Anyway, so you're watching your breathing, right? And then very slowly you start to let go of that. Start to let go. Let's go on its own. And then you find yourself just in awareness, right? And you might find different thoughts that are going across the screen of your consciousness, but you just let them come and go like clouds in the sky. Just watch them. And then, there might be some emotionally loaded thoughts that come through, and those can really take you through a whole trip. And you might end up going on those trips, but then you find the light of God again. You find the light. And what is the light? The light is awareness. The light of awareness. So you find the light again, and you're like, okay. You become awareness again. No longer wrapped up with the character going through all these experiences. Now you're witnessing the character that's having thoughts about the experience that the character's having, right? So you start to see that awareness that you're experiencing, that you're discovering, that you're becoming more acquainted with, that bird's eye view, right, has always been there. It's watched every single moment of your life. It's been aware. It's been there, watching your thoughts, your emotions, your actions, your circumstances. When they say that God knows everything about you, it's because God is your mind. God is your mind. God is you. God is your body. God is everything. God is literally the knowing, the knower, and the known. God. And that's discovered in meditation. You discover that that watcher is actually you. That watcher that's aware of the depression that's going on, that you're feeling depressed, right? But there's an awareness that knows you're depressed. And that awareness isn't depressed. And when you start identifying more with that awareness rather than the thought that says, I am depressed, you start to come to sanity. And you start to question the reality of thoughts in general. And then you start to question, how much do I believe any thought that just comes into my head? So, you're watching. And this watching continues in your life. So that whatever you're doing, you're watching. Even if you get angry with someone, you're watching. Even if you are experiencing confusion in your life, you're watching the confusion. And then, as you go really deep in meditation, you come to a deep silence. A knowing that what you are is not just a human, not just a mind, not just an ego, not just a personality, that behind all of that, you are nameless, you are formless, you are timeless, you are infinite, you are eternal consciousness. And what does that feel like? It feels like love. And it feels like peace. And it's also intelligent. In Sanskrit, they call it Satchitananda, existence, consciousness, or intelligence, which is intelligent consciousness, and bliss. That is truly what you are, what everything else is. And if we take meditation further, the benefit is, yes, it will benefit your life, right? It'll help you. But it's more than that. Yes, it will put you in a reality where beautiful things will happen around you, miraculous things, like mind-blowing things. You'll find yourself in places that you never thought you'd be, right? And you will experience the richness and the fullness of life like never before, that you have to share this with other people. You have to. You have to share the gospel. This is the good news. To know that regardless of circumstance, that I can be completely at peace, whole, content within myself. That no matter what the body goes through, I'm not the body. I'm not the mind. That even death isn't what we think it is. And that when I change my perception about things, my whole experience of life changes. And all I did was flip the lens. And that everything is this consciousness. That everything is as it is. That it can't be any other way. That we experience the illusion that it could be some other way. And that's what keeps this game going. And you start to see behind the curtain a little bit. And that's freedom. And then you can stay in that freedom all you want. That's what they call a Buddha. Or you can be a bodhisattva. And you take this realization, you come back knowing that everything's fine. Always. And still do your work. To still serve. And that's when you really seep into the heart of spirituality. The heart of Christ consciousness. To embrace the entire world of all the suffering, sickness, death, and beauty, and newborn babies, and laughter and love. And embrace all of it with outstretched arms, with a bleeding heart. And embracing it all with love. That's salvation. When you can embrace good, evil, right, wrong, honor it. It's all part of a whole. And you should play your part. This is where meditation leads. But if you were just trying to have stress relief and quiet your mind, you didn't know what you were teetering on. And you don't know. Because if it's your destiny to trick yourself into a deeper awakening, then it will happen. But we're all on some trajectory of awakening deeper and deeper and deeper into life. It's just we're all at different levels of awakeness. And some are really deeply asleep. And the problem is these people that are deeply asleep are run by what they're not conscious of. So you have to forgive them, Father. They know not what they do. They're run by ego and mind, Satan. They're run by their unconsciousness, their sleepiness. So, this video and whatever actions I do are in service to God, are in service to the higher truth, are in service for the awakening of mankind. I know that if I bring this meditativeness, this consciousness, knowing that the more you do this, your intelligence starts to raise, which is intelligence is different than the intellect, right? It's not of the mind, it's beyond. This information is coming from beyond the mind. Knowing that all I have to do is the next right step. And that God will lead me. Because I don't know my future anymore. The past is gone. Like that. I have no idea where I'm going next. But I know God will always put me in the right place at the right time. Because that's the only reality there is. And as long as I'm aware and conscious, I'll do my work. But if I fall asleep at the wheel, I'm rejecting a gift, an opportunity